Hello.
Hello, friends.
Hello, everyone.
Hello.
Welcome to Crime Cocktails and BS.
MBS.
I was waiting for you.
I'm a little more behind today because I only had one coffee.
I had a couple coffees and now Better Buzz energy drink.
Well,
Yay.
I'm sad.
You'll be our calm presence for the episode.
Have I ever been a calm presence? Ever?
You're pretty even-keeled.
I think maybe when I'm pissed off, I'm calm, but that's probably dangerous.
Ooh. That's good to know.
I've never been mad at you, nor do I think I will be. Ever.
We'll see.
But hi, guys.
Hi.
Yes. Friends who do get mad at each other. We'll be talking about that today because we're covering the premiere episode of Vanderpump Rules season 11.
Really good stuff.
Kaisa is all ready for it. She has her send it to Daryl sweatshirt on because we rep Lala. We love her. And we're also talking about the dating game killer. Why? Because it's February and people are in love. And this guy ended up
we're gonna ruin it.
Yep, yeah. We're gonna ruin the love fest.
Wait, I also want to call out that you have repped the white nail polish.
Yes,
also
I
for
brought
Vanderpump.
Yes, but
They're beautiful.
That was on accident.
I love that you're reclaiming the power of the white nail polish.
I didn't realize it though until you told me that's what I was doing.
I love them.
I was like, ugh, thank you. Yes, and I'm still wearing these shitty headphones because what has come over me this year in deciding to like pierce the shit out of my ears, I don't know. But it's fun. I already made another appointment. I'm just gonna keep going, I guess.
Yes. I don't know. Wait, what's your next one?
It's not the daith. It's like up
the inner cartilage.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, cool.
I don't know. That or like a third. I think maybe I want to go a third. But I have such small ears.
You have dainty ears.
I have dainty ears, so I don't know where they can put it.
What about the like little flappy thing? I can't remember what it's called.
I could not do that.
I got it done. It didn't hurt. It just makes a crackle sound.
I get that. A crackle. Oh, that's fun. I get it, but at the same time, like I don't know if I can personally handle it, like the feeling of it in my ear. Mm-hmm. But I used to have one up in my whatever this is called. Whatever.
I had that too.
Like the little top elf cartilage thing.
Yeah.
And it closed. Like I had it for 2 years and it closed up. So I'm like,
oh. I forget I have them pierced. They just stayed in since like 2000.
I forget I have a tattoo all the time.
Let me see it. I'm just kidding. Show us. Oh, I didn't know you had that one there. Oh my god.
Yeah, I have. That's the only one. So far, that's the only one I have.
That was such a trend for a while, like behind the ear.
Oh, what? Behind the ear?
All my friends had one.
Yeah, no, my cousin and I decided we have the same one and we got it done while I was living in Chicago. And we were like, we're never moving to Rhode Island again. Like, because we were both born there. So we're like, let's just get a little anchors behind our ears. And some people get it. Other people think I'm a part of a sorority because I guess that's one like Delta Gamma or something has the anchor. And I was like, fuck no.
It's cute though. I like it.
Thanks. Yeah, I'd like another one, but I don't know what I'd get or where I'd put it. I
got the back of my neck pierced.
Pierced?
Twice. I got it pierced twice. Yeah, it goes through
like
your
back
of your neck.
It's not one of the like
through your neck. Like
what?
I have 2 scars. They're like little dots. It goes through so much skin. I can't believe I did it.
I have so many questions. So wait, was it like a bar or was it one of those like that goes into your like settles under your skin? You know, those little like diamondy things?
Yeah, the first one was like a metal bar and it had 2 little balls at both ends.
Little balls.
Got infected and I let it close up and I got it pierced again through the scar tissue, which was really painful. And it had like a flexible thing. under
You
this.
are so much cooler than me.
I used
I
to.
don't know how we're friends. Honestly, like you're too cool for me. You're so hardcore.
No,
You're like a
I
little
mean, I could never do it now. That's the thing.
still.
Also,
I
one
think you
nipple
were
pierced, and I couldn't continue
I
with
know
that.
so many people who did that and then let them close up because they were like, yeah, it was cool for a minute. And then,
What? Yeah, my body didn't like it, so
oh my God, it's too funny. Yeah, no,
it's
you're
too
so.
crazy.
And now, you know what I was actually thinking of is like, you know how there's that trend right now on Instagram that's like, show you at 21,
Yeah,
those pictures. I did it because you did it. Um, and then I did it again
I
because
went
someone else I know
ham
did
and
it.
just posted so
Well,
many.
it's so fun to look back, but it's funny to see like how we became friends now in our 30s
Hmm.
and seeing each other at 21. I was like, Kaisa would not have been friends with me. Like,
You wouldn't have been friends with me.
I was like,
It was
Kaisa was
wild.
like so cool, so wild. And then there was me, like a little, I don't know, I'd go out, but like
You were probably
catch me.
way more mature than me. I
No,
was nuts.
I had some serious going out phases. Like
Hmm.
I was
Everyone
I
did though.
was yeah, but I was one of those girls that on a Thursday I would go to Forever 21 with my best friend, buy a going out top
Yes.
because that was the thing. And I'd buy a top and I'd buy like a new pair of Jessica Simpson pumps because that was also the thing. And for some reason, they would get higher and higher and higher like every month. I don't know
Gorgeous.
how I didn't fall over. Like, you never wear a coat out. It would be like negative 12 degrees
Hmm.
outside. And we'd be like, we're still going to the bar. Let's
Mini
go.
skirt. Yeah.
Full shebang. I wore like I was a big fan of like the faux leather leggings. I thought those were like the coolest things. And then the peplum tops with
Peplum tops. Yes.
the chunky necklace. The amount of times I remember, okay, one story. I remember this one time I was on my way home from a bar by myself, and I think the Uber driver was afraid I was going to throw up in the car.
Oh my God.
That he was asking me state capitals. He was quizzing me the entire ride home. And
Hey, that's
that was in
smart.
I know. So that was in Wrigleyville and I lived in Lincoln Park, which was like 10 minutes.
Hmm.
And I got every single one wrong.
I was like, I bet you got them all right.
Oh no, everyone wrong. I don't even know what I said. And yeah, and then I went home and did die.
Did throw up. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, it was a good time. Well, that's when we'd all buy like, oh my God, what was that wine that you could get at 7-Eleven?
Um, Boone's.
Barefoot Moscato.
Oh, barefoot. Yeah. I was like, Boone's Farm. That was the
No, but
Wisconsin thing.
Barefoot Moscato was like the thing.
Because it was like $2.
Oh, and so sweet.
Yeah.
It's like,
Ew.
oh, I could never now.
I
Oh,
drank Bloody
gross.
Marys and shots of whiskey.
Oh. What?
Yeah, I took shots of whiskey
I
and
did
beer.
too. I used to have
Picklebacks.
it
I
picklebacks.
can't
Yeah.
drink whiskey to this day because of that
I
phase.
used to have a bottle of Jack Daniels in my apartment like at all times.
Yeah.
Well, I guess it was like cool to drink whiskey back.
It
I don't
was.
know. When
Yeah.
you're 21, you're like, yeah, I can take shots of this.
Oh, could never
Oh,
in my life now. Can
yeah.
barely
And
drink
then,
2 glasses of wine and I'm done.
yeah, I know. And then every Wednesday we'd go to this Mexican place and it was like downstairs and it was called Twisted Lizard.
Yes.
And it would be Wicked Twisted Wednesdays and we drink
Margaritas.
margaritas.
We had one of those too. And they had like
Oh,
giant margaritas for like $1 or something. And then a
yeah.
burrito. It was so
And then
great.
I remember like, do you remember when like the beer Ritas became really popular? Like the
Yeah.
margarita with the beer in it. And then we also went to school during the Four Loco time.
Yeah.
We went to
Dangerous.
college during Four Loco.
That was
The
like my
fact that,
freshman year, our freshman year probably, or sophomore
yeah,
even. Yeah.
yeah, no one will understand the actual original recipe for Four Loco unless you were
It was not
in
okay.
college or were able to, you know,
So
that
dangerous.
was
Yeah.
one can, you're dead.
Just wired and hammered at the same time. So bad.
And then it was all Red Bull and vodka. And then I don't know. dangerous.
The classy version is an espresso martini now.
Which is honestly why it makes sense why women
Totally.
in their 30s are obsessed with espresso martinis. That's the connection. We drank Four Loko in college, and now we're all
We're
about the
chasing
espresso
that.
martinis. We're chasing that high. We're chasing that adrenaline rush. Oh
Oh
my God.
gosh.
But you know what cocktail I want
Hmm.
is the one that's in Kaisa's Cocktail Corner.
Kaisa's Cocktail Corner. Such a good transition.
Thank you.
Beautiful. This is the LVP.
It's so pretty.
It's so gorgeous. So this is Lisa Vanderpump's favorite drink. It's based off of Sir's Big Pinky drink on their menu. It has obviously mint and lime, lemon juice, simple syrup, vodka, and cranberry juice. It's very
And
refreshing.
I just want to give Dane a round of applause for finally stopping his protest and garnishing
Well,
the
I
brethren.
told him that you've been saying that he hasn't been listening, by the way.
How rude.
I know. I told him you've been saying that, and he was like, I put garnishes on mine. Didn't I put it on the last one? I'm like, it's been like 5 cocktails without a
It's
garnish.
been the whole season, except for the one you made.
Yeah.
Unless you made, if you did not make the drink, I'm sorry, I don't know how to phrase this. If Dane has made the drink this season, there has been no garnish. The only time there has been garnish is when you've done it.
So he's back with the garnishes.
I'm glad he came back around. Upset with my best friend Dane that he's not listening.
I know.
Or will he know he's my best friend because he doesn't listen?
He's been listening to audiobooks. That's his excuse.
That's right. Colin hasn't been listening either. I think I'm going to throw him out the window. I mean, not throw him out the window.
Colin! Gotta get
fine.
our dudes to listen.
You know what? They don't have to. We have enough.
They don't
If
get
they
to
don't
be
want to be
grace.
supportive, then they don't have to deal with us. That means Colin has now dropped in my list. It's fine. He's always been second to Bori, but now he's like 5th. I just got to find stuff to put in between.
I love that.
Anyway, should we get into the murder
who's
this week?
very low on my list is this man, Rodney. Was that a good transition?
That was great.
Rodney James Alcala.
Is it bad when I keep reading Rodney, I want to say Rodney Dangerfield because I've always been such a huge fan of him.
I keep wanting to say alpaca instead of Alcala.
Me too. Trigger warning?
Definite trigger warning.
Also, we'll put the timestamp in the description of the episode again because I keep getting feedback, aka my mother, telling me it's very helpful. So we will continue doing that.
Yes.
But yeah, trigger warning for sure.
Trigger warning. There's sexual assault, rape, murder,
kidnapping,
manipulation, kidnapping, child
narcissistic tendencies.
So much.
Bad hair.
Sociopathy. Bad hair.
Sorry. Did you see the pictures of him when
he's older?
It's scary.
He was actually like grossly attractive when he was younger. He was.
Yeah.
Conventionally
absolutely.
Attractive. Which is
we're not going unconventional attractive again.
Well, he would be unconventional if you said that you were attracted to him. Since he's a serial killer.
If you said you were attracted to him, I'd say we need to stop the podcast right now and talk.
We need therapy.
Yeah, more therapy than we already have.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Okay. Do you want to start us off with early life? I have a little.
Oh my god, I'd love to.
Oh, I was like, what's wrong with your cheeks?
I don't know. I felt like touching them. Something's wrong with me.
I have too much blush on right now.
I feel like I do right now.
No, you look perfect.
Thank you. I was told the other day that my makeup was flawless.
Yes.
I almost started crying.
I still want to see a photo of your outfit from that day.
Yes. I had to hold back tears when this woman I was at a meeting with told me. And I was like, thank
You
you.
do always have flawless makeup. Always.
You. Thank you. Maybe I'll drop my makeup routine. Absolutely not, because I'm not a fucking influencer. Anyway,
Do it.
yes. All right, we're starting now. We're
Yeah.
starting now. Okay. Yes, the early life of the dating game killer, aka Rodney Alcala. Did you learn
Alcala.
how Alcala? I have it written down. Do I have to? I'm dyslexic.
Well, he
Sorry.
went by several names, so
He
it's
did.
no.
Also, before we start, did you watch any of the things?
I did. I
Knew
downloaded
it.
some random app and watched a terrible, terrible documentary that just said everything I read online, and it wasn't it
I
wasn't
knew
good
you
at
were
all.
gonna. You
So
always go again. Kaisa wins, going above and beyond.
no, I just like
Anyway,
to see if there's any like personal notes, and there usually are in the like documentaries. They're usually like family members talking or something. So that's
yeah.
the only reason.
Mm.
Anyway,
Well, yes. So early life. Rodney was born in San Antonio, Texas in 1951. His father moved his family to Mexico and then abandoned them 3 years later. Here we go again.
and there
Childhood
was nothing
abandonment.
else about that. Did you see anything out like where did he go? Did he ever speak to
No,
them?
nothing about his dad,
Nothing.
but just up and left.
Hmm.
Also, after moving your family to Mexico, it's like, okay, bye.
Big, yeah, what?
Okay. And then in 1954, his mother moved them to LA. Rodney was academically gifted, reasonably popular, and supported by his family. Kind of reminds me of every other serial killer we've covered.
There's always an abandonment thing that happens.
Always an
Very
abandonment.
smart.
Yes. Somewhat popular, like never really
They're either
hidden.
really weird and
Yes.
secluded or like very
Or,
popular.
yeah. He attended various private schools and on the yearbook planning committee and on the track and cross country teams.
So he was
Look at
just
you.
like an
Now you're
outgoing
having something
guy.
in common with the serial killer this week.
Oh,
Yeah.
yes. Yeah.
Yes.
There wasn't
Oh,
much more about his family though. I tried to find more, but
well, his mom comes up a lot because she ended
Mhm.
up, spoiler alert, she ended up covering for him
Mhm.
a lot with the police. However, that's in the future. In 1961, he joined the army because he wanted to become a paratrooper. His commanding officer noted him as being manipulative, vindictive, and insubordinate, and was disciplined on several occasions for assaulting young women.
Mhm.
Also, again, another serial killer in the army.
Yeah. So he was actually discharged. They wrote a little psychology write-up about him, and they said, "This man is selfish and manipulates others. He's only driven by his own need and his own personal gain."
Mm-hmm.
And he was diagnosed with antisocial personality disorder after having a breakdown where he hitchhiked all the way to his mom's house in California from uh, the army base, which was
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
across the
which is
country. So,
he was stationed at Fort Bragg, which is in North Carolina. Fun fact,
mhm.
I've been there. Yeah, so it was described that he had a nervous breakdown, and they also diagnosed him with narcissistic personality disorder and
Mhm.
malignant narcissism with psychopathy and sexual sadism.
So creepy.
I can't say this word.
I don't know.
COMOR
Oh,
comorbidities.
comorbidities, yeah. He was also it was suggested that he be committed for psychiatric treatment, which is like really telling because I feel like they wanted to keep people in the army, and there were a lot of problematic people in the army, and they
Yeah.
usually just cover for it.
Hmm.
And so the fact that they're like calling him out and kicking him out is a big deal, I think.
Yeah. And the other part of it too is that he was estimated to have an IQ of 135 by a military psychiatrist. So they wanted to keep him because he
Mhm.
was gifted in
Yeah.
that way. But after leaving the army, he graduated from UCLA School of Fine Arts and later studied film under Roman Polanski at NYU. Interestingly enough, we know that Roman Polanski has been, um, what's the word? Has been known or allegedly known to diddle with young ladies.
Yes. I have a couple friends who went
Also
to
was
NYU, by the way.
also Roman Polanski was married to Sharon Tate,
Right.
who was murdered by Charles Manson.
So creepy. It's
All
all connected.
the connections.
Yeah. It's all connected. So wait, okay, I just want to cover this because it's important. He was a tall, good-looking man who often told women he was a fashion photographer and he wanted to
Hmm.
take photos for a contest. That was his little excuse to get
That was his
them.
way in.
Yeah. His intelligence and charm could make him persuasive, and many women felt like he was really easy to trust. And he did this thing where he made extreme eye contact while he talked to them, making them feel like the only person that existed.
That creeps me the fuck out.
I don't like when people have prolonged eye contact.
Neither do
That like freaks
I.
me out.
Even when we're doing this, like I can't stare at you for too long. 'Cause it freaks me the fuck out. like, like Kaisa, what do you think
Just
of this? But you're also like, but we're
I'm
also
so
meaning like
glad.
stare into a camera, but then also at the screen. It's like very weird.
It is really weird, but I just don't find yeah, I don't find that attractive. I don't
I find
know.
eye contact too much to handle.
Maybe we're a little bit autistic, but it's fine. No, I'm just kidding. We're not. But, you
No,
know,
we're
we're just
inverted
normal
extroverts.
humans. I think it's creepy when people are staring you. Like there's a level of balance of eye contact.
My thing is like, if you're gonna make eye contact with me for that long, are you gonna make out with me or what? Like, what's the point here?
Yeah, there
Like, what
has
do
to
you
be
want from me?
there has to be
You're gonna
something. So
make out with
maybe
me or kill me? Like,
I mean he
where are we
was
going?
going to do both. So,
Yeah,
yeah.
exactly. So, but that's not the option I want. Like, leave me alone. I'd rather you just, I don't know, not look at me.
Mhm.
Like, stop
Exactly.
staring.
Oh my
Actually, I'm
gosh.
one of those people that if you stare at me for too long, I go, what? Can I help you?
Same. Same, or like look behind me, like,
Yeah, I'm like,
is there
what's
something
wrong?
on my forehead? I
That's
don't
so telling of who we are as people. But
I
do
know.
you want to do you want to jump into the criminal history?
Sure, it is a doozy. So,
Sure.
sure, that's okay. My grandma said that all the time. It's such a Wisconsin thing. Sure.
Oh,
So I always say it, and people, I don't realize how it's not used in other states, really. It's in the Midwest mostly. Like, sure.
sure. The word
Yeah.
sure?
People don't say it that much. It's
Really? You
not, it's
think?
like old school. Sure.
Okay. I
Oh,
was about to say
sure.
sure to that, and now I feel weird
Maybe they
saying it.
do, or maybe I don't know.
Well,
I
I
feel
don't
like
know.
California, not many people say
My
it.
cousin lives in Chicago. I mean, she's kind of like from there. But she and I always go sure, 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 sure.
Oh yeah,
Is that
yeah.
not
Isn't that from
is
something
that
too?
very Midwest? I don't know. I lived
Ah,
in the Midwest for 5 years, so
yeah,
maybe
Chicago's basically
it's not that
Wisconsin.
weird to me. Anyway, criminal history.
Okay, so he committed his first crime and known crime. There were probably more. In 1968, before he joined the film school, he lured an 8-year-old girl named Talia Shapiro to his apartment in Hollywood. He was seen by someone driving around who informed the police of the incident. He saw him taking this 8-year-old.
And he wasn't
Um,
just living anywhere. He was living at the Chateau Marmont.
oh, at this time, I didn't realize that
Yeah.
actually. That's
Oh no, sorry,
crazy.
Shapiro. Sorry, Tally. The 8-year-old was living at the Chateau Marmont,
Oh, okay. Yeah.
which that place in itself has so much crazy history. Maybe we should cover that one time.
We should a lot of the places in
Yeah.
Hollywood, actually. Um, the police reached his apartment and rescued the girl. Unfortunately, she was found beaten and raped. He fled before the police arrived, and then that's when he joined the NYU classes under the alias John Berger, which is what
Yeah.
he went by for a lot of his life.
Well, he also switched it from Burger to
Yeah.
Berger at one point. Also, Tally was in a coma for 32 days and spent months recovering
I just made this
from it.
connection. Sorry.
Yes, I
When
love
he was
connections.
when he was born, his name was Rodrigo Jacques Jacques Alcala Bucor. So maybe he was referencing the Bucor
Bucor to
burger. I don't
burger.
know.
Maybe. When I think of Burger as someone's name, I think of Sex in the City because Burger is the one who broke up with Carrie on a Post-it.
Yeah, that's a move.
The it's a choice. That is a strong choice
It is a strong
and
choice.
the wrong choice. Yeah. Yeah, so then he moved to New York to evade the arrest warrant for him.
Mm-hmm. So he enrolled in NYU, blah blah blah. We talked about that. Um, around 1978 to 1980, he disguised himself as a fashion photographer, and that's when he was taking sexually explicit photos of young women and teenage boys. He also, let's see,
Well, even before that, when he was in New York, in 1971, he got before that, he got a counseling job at a New Hampshire arts camp for children. He began working for Blue Cross Blue Shield Association and worked in an office with serial killer Richard Cottingham.
oh my gosh, I did not know that.
Yeah. Who Richard Cottingham was nicknamed the New York Ripper, and he killed and raped at least 18 women between 1967 and 1980. Apparently,
Yes.
neither one of them knew about each other's crimes. Do I believe that after what we just talked about last week with the toolbox
No,
killers? Not so much, but
no. So
yes.
his first known, yeah, this is before that whole photographer thing, but his first known murder was committed in 1971, where he brutally raped and murdered a 23-year-old flight attendant named Cornelia Michael Crilly in her apartment in Manhattan. Her naked body was found bound and strangled with a nylon stocking with something stuck in her mouth to stop her from screaming. And her breasts had bite marks on it, which was a theme in most of the bodies that were found. It's really awful.
Yeah. And being strangled with nylons is also a
Yeah. And after they like
wrench.
had the ability to do the autopsies, they found that he was strangling women to the point where they would pass out and then letting them revive. He would revive them
Like
and then
torturing them.
like in and out of consciousness, choking it
Ugh.
while he raped them, which is the most
The
horrifying
fuck?
thing ever. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
And the
for
sad,
this
yeah.
one, the murder wasn't solved, and it was not before 2011 that his involvement came to surface. Like the
So
timeline's all over the
sad.
place with all these cases. Like he was definitely flagged, but they
Well, because they
didn't.
had to do all they had to find all that DNA.
Right.
And but that's also getting ahead of us.
Yep.
Continue.
So he was actually put on the FBI's 10 most wanted fugitives, and that's when he was identified at the camp. Um,
Mm-hmm.
two of the
By
kids
two
actually
kids.
identified him. Yeah. That's
Could you
crazy.
imagine being one of those kids being like, I think my counselor's a murderer?
Oh my God. Like seeing the posters everywhere and they're like, that's
Yeah.
him. He's teaching me art classes. Um, so he was actually arrested at that point and extradited to California, but was not charged with rape or attempted murder since Tally's family did not allow her to testify. He was
And they
only
moved the entire
charged.
family to Mexico.
Oh yeah, yep, yep. He was only charged for assault and was paroled after 17 months when he was supposed to be in I think he was supposed to be in jail, but they paroled him after 17 months for a program
Yeah.
named Indeterminate Sentencing.
Yeah, he was sentenced to 3 years, but only served 17 months.
That's it. That's it. Okay.
Yes. But then was rearrested
For
3 months
raping
later.
a 13-year-old girl. Yay.
Because the
What a
poor thing
creep.
thought she was accepting a ride to school.
That's so
Like,
sad.
God, it's just so crazy to think too, like how normal that was back in like the 60s and 70s. Like,
Hey, you want to ride? Yeah.
yeah. Like I cannot imagine my parents being like, sure, grab a
Oh my
ride from
God.
whoever while you're walking down the street. Are you kidding me?
No,
No. No,
never.
no, no. No.
No.
No.
Um, Yeah, so he also got the indeterminate sentence for that and was let
Yeah.
out again.
Yeah. After 2 years.
I just
Like
can't believe it.
the in and out thing always freaks me out.
Mm-hmm. And though he was a registered sex offender, he managed to land a job at the Los Angeles Times. It's like, how is he getting hired after all these things? Like everything was so loosey-goosey back
Yeah.
then.
And then the thing that also freaks me out, and I know we've been talking about this, is like all the connections that are made with this guy. Because then he disappeared. His parole officer in LA let him, for some stupid reason, travel to New York. And then he never came back. And while he was in New York, he killed Ellen Jane Hover, who was the daughter of a nightclub owner, Herman Hover, and she was the goddaughter of Dean Martin and Sammy Davis Jr. It's
Yeah,
like, how many more people can we connect to here, guys?
it's nuts. And like even with that, he still wasn't like put away forever, you know?
Yeah, but like she had the evidence for it. She had his name written down in her date book that she was going to meet him.
Mm-hmm.
He admitted to knowing her while he was under questioning. And then they couldn't arrest him because they couldn't find the body.
Which they found a year later, but like that is nuts. If someone has their name written down and they disappear, I feel like can't they? I feel like it's changed. The courts
I
have
don't know.
changed for
Yeah,
sure.
I sure damn hope so.
I hope so. The same year, his third known victim was Jill Barcombe. Her body was discovered along a dirt pathway near Mulholland Drive in LA. Her body was naked from the waist down, positioned with her knees towards her chest. They said she was balled up, basically. There was evidence of sexual assault, and she had been beaten and strangled so badly she was barely recognizable. Um, she was strangled with a pair of blue slacks, and she had 3 bite marks on her right breast. Loves to
Why?
bite the boobs.
I don't get biting
It's
the
so
boobs.
creepy.
Yeah.
Ew.
Yeah, I know. And then, yeah, so then you said he was working for the LA Times. He actually was interviewed by members of the Hillside Strangler Task Force.
And they didn't realize that he was like another serial killer.
Yeah.
So
He was
insane.
ruled out, but then he was arrested and served a brief sentence for weed possession,
Oh, I
which
missed
is
that.
like, I guess we can arrest him for something. And then he somehow convinced hundreds of young men and women. Oh, no, you already talked about that. That he was a professional photographer. And the police feared that some of the subjects may be additional cold case victims.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
And
and
to
then he
this
was
time,
on.
there are like 6 other murders that they have
Yeah.
documented
Yeah.
connected to him.
Yeah. Because
But
there
then,
was also
yes,
the other. Do you want to talk about the other murder in 1977?
there was Georgia Wickstead, who was 27. Her body was discovered on December 16th on the floor nearby the brass bed of her Malibu studio apartment. She had been beaten, sexually assaulted, and bludgeoned and strangled to death. And then
Again
they,
with her nylons.
yeah, I don't get what that is. There must be some mom thing connected to that. But after his like arrest, which we'll talk about later, they connected several other murders within that time frame
Yeah.
to
And
him.
then you know what? Since he's a murderer, why don't we throw him on a dating show? So the
This
whole
is
reason
wild.
why, yeah, so the whole reason why he's called the dating game killer is because in 1978, he was a contestant on the dating game, which, if you watch RuPaul's Drag Race, which we just talked about last week, they sometimes do the Snatch Game of Love, which is exactly what the dating game is. So you have one contestant who's there to find love, and then there's 3 other people that they don't see. There's like a screen up, and they have to answer questions. So kind of like, I
It's
guess, a
like that
dating app,
naked,
but in real
what is
life.
that naked game? It's like
What
the
naked
opposite of that.
game?
There's a
I
HBO
think
show
that's
where
something else.
I they're like, she has a tidy vagina. Okay.
I hate you.
Sorry, it's very weird. Anyway,
Oh.
continue.
Anyway, okay, that was lovely.
Sorry, we can edit
Host
that out.
No, that has to stay. That was too good. That's gotta stay in. Guys, vote. That should stay in. I voted. I win. Host Jim Lang introduced him as a quote unquote successful photographer. Between takes, you might find him skydiving or motorcycling. Because who doesn't want to date that? A
Ew.
fellow Bachelor contestant later described him as a very strange guy with bizarre opinions. Scary enough, he did win the episode. He got the date with the episode's bachelorette, Cheryl Bradshaw, who subsequently refused to go out with him because she found him creepy. Good. I'm happy she did.
Oh,
Criminal,
same.
yes. And then criminal profiler Pat Brown said that this rejection might have been an exacerbating factor to killing at least 3 more women after his appearance because she said, no, thank you.
That same psychologist said, or crime profiler said, that is something he would not take too well. Psychopaths don't understand rejection. They think it's something wrong with the person. She played me. She played hard to get. Like that, like victim blaming.
So, does that mean that every guy said I didn't want to go out with and then had a really dick response
Psychopath.
is a psychopath?
I think it's just men don't take rejection very well because they're
Men don't
given
take
everything
anything well.
their whole lives. Yeah.
Oh my God. Side note, I went on a whole rant on Colin the other day because I said if men had periods, nothing would be taxed.
Right. Exactly.
Sorry, I went on a whole
They
tangent.
couldn't survive what we go
They'd
through.
get a week off of work every
They
month.
could get, yeah, paid and like
Anyway,
hospitalized.
yes. Anyway,
Um,
I digress. Sorry. Men. Anyway, more murder. Kaisa, you have all the
uh,
murders.
I know. Hold on. I had some more notes about why she
Oh,
didn't go on a date with him.
tell us more.
She said when they met face to face, like off stage, she felt like he was acting really creepy and he made too intense of eye contact, like we were talking about. So some people don't like it and take it as a red flag. They were supposed to go on a date to play tennis together at Magic Mountain Amusement Park, but she decided to bow out. She said, I started to feel ill. He was acting really creepy. I turned down his offer. I did not want to see him ever again.
Good.
Mhm.
Could you imagine though if that was like today and like you had to give your number and like they could just text you and then find you on social media and then like
No.
uh-uh,
Uh-uh.
no bueno.
So he was continued. This was in the midst of his killing spree. So
The murder spree.
just like casually going on TV in between murders. It's fine.
I mean, people do that all the time, right?
Oh my gosh, she's so
Sorry,
creepy.
that
And
was
like I
fucked
just
up.
don't they didn't do a background check for that show. Like it's just so creepy.
Yeah.
Charlotte Lamb, 31, was raped and strangled and left in the laundry room of an El Segundo apartment. Jill Baranto, 21, was killed in her Burbank apartment. Um, in June, Christine Ruth Thornton was last seen hitchhiking, and he took photos of her. And they actually interviewed him about this, and he said he knew her, but nothing happened.
Was that the
And she
12-year-old?
was, mm,
Or which one is that? Sorry.
it might be actually. She was ID'd by her sister later on when they had the photos from
Yeah.
his. Yeah. um, then in 2011, they were confident that he was responsible for Pamela Jean Lamson, who disappeared after making a trip to Fisherman's Wharf to meet a man who offered to photograph her.
Ladies, stop falling for the photographer thing. It's usually not real.
So creepy.
Do you know who was discovered at a mall by a photographer? Jennifer Lawrence. That's the like one case where
Turned
it
out
didn't turn
well.
out bad. Yeah.
In college, we were broke, and my friend and I drove to Minneapolis to get photographed by some random dude we met on the internet. And we went into a warehouse and and they took pictures of us. And I have no idea where those photos are, but we probably could have gotten murdered.
Or yeah,
We were
what?
like
What?
jumping in the air, like we were like 22. It was
Again,
really,
why you and I would not have been friends back then.
we were nuts.
I would have been too scared
We're
shitless.
like art students. We're like, they're just an artist. They're just a photographer.
Yeah, no. I was too busy laying in bed watching shows. Kind of like now.
Well, don't
Anyway,
go with
glad
photographers,
you
guys.
didn't die. Very
Same.
glad you survived.
Dumb decisions when your brain isn't fully
These
formed.
things we did.
Yeah.
Another murder that happened during that time was 15-year-old hitchhiker Monique Hoyt.
Oh,
Um,
yeah.
Instead of taking her home, she was hitchhiking, she was 15. Instead of driving her home, he drove her to his apartment where he raped her and then traveled to a secluded mountainous area near Banning, California, where he took photos of her in her underwear, as well as pictures of him raping her again. And then he bound and gagged her, began a sustained assault, which included further rape and sodomy, and then bludgeoned Hoyt in the head with a rock. She somehow escaped when he entered a gas station bathroom on the drive back to Riverside County and filed a police report about the ordeal. However, Alcala's mother posted his bail.
Right.
And this is not the only murder, or obviously not a murder because she escaped, not the only instance where she has covered for him. So during the Robin Christine murder, detectives had to search his mother's house because she had saved a bunch of stuff for him, including a rental receipt for a storage locker in Seattle. And in the locker, they were able to find the victim's earrings, which was how they were able to connect him to the murder. They found a lot of shit in there,
Was that
actually.
Samso? Robin?
Yes.
Okay, yeah. 12. Oh, the 12-year-old.
The
That's
12-year-old.
so sick. But that was the
Sick
one that
and
really
twisted.
got him
In
arrested.
trouble.
So there was a sketch of the suspect that was issued to the public, and his parole officer saw it and recognized him. So the police tracked him down, and he was arrested July 24th, 1979.
Finally, without bail.
Yeah.
They learned their lesson.
It's so many years just getting away with murdering people. Like, I just don't understand how
Yeah, I don't get
that
it.
happened. So after his arrest, they found hundreds of photos in his Seattle storage locker. These images were some of which were explicit, like you said, da 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 da. So many disgusting photos, like
I mean,
thousands.
they found, what is it, like around 900
Oh,
photos, and they
yeah.
were able to like connect them to a bunch of missing persons.
Mm-hmm.
And where'd it go?
They shared the
And
photos with the public in
oh
hopes of
yeah.
identifying them, and lots of people came forward. Some of them were alive and came forward, so some of them survived.
Yeah, I mean, this is all the way in 2010 where they did this, and
Mm-hmm.
the police actually released 100, not just the New York City Police Department and the Huntington Beach, California one released 120 photographs, and then they found an additional 900 that they couldn't make public because they were too sexually explicit.
So the trial stuff, I'm so confused about because he was
I
retried
got
so
you.
many times. Yeah.
I'll take us on that journey.
Do it.
So, like Kaisa said, he was arrested in July 1979 without bail and went on trial for Samso's murder, was found guilty in May of 1980 and sentenced to death in June. Unfortunately, the verdict was then overturned by the California Supreme Court in 1984 because jurors had been improperly informed of his prior sex crimes. I did not know that was possible.
No.
And then in May 1986, a second trial, which was virtually identical to the first, except for the omission of the prior criminal record testimony, he was again convicted and sentenced to death in August. Fast forward to 1992, the California Supreme Court upheld the verdict, but Alcala filed a federal habeas corpus petition, which then in 2001, a United States District Court judge granted it, overturning Alcala's second conviction.
It's
The decision,
insane.
I know, it blows my mind sometimes, this frickin' system we live in.
Mm-hmm.
The decision was upheld in 2003 by a Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals panel, in part because a witness was not allowed to support Alcala's contention that the park ranger who found Samso's body had been hypnotized by police investigators.
Okay, and at that point they had more DNA technology, so there were a lot
Thank
more.
God.
Yeah. So,
Like, yes.
also in that third trial, isn't that the one where he represented himself?
Oh yeah, we're getting to the third one.
Oh, okay. I thought you said that was the third one. Okay, go ahead.
No, that was just the second. That was the second. This guy is nuts. And it makes it even more so because, like Kaiser was just saying,
So wild.
the third prosecution was in 2003. An Orange County investigators learned that Alcala's DNA, sampled under a new state law over his objections, matched semen. I hate that word.
Ugh.
Semen left at the rape murder scenes of 2 women in LA. There was then additional evidence, including another cold case DNA match in 2004, which led to Alcala's indictment for the murders of 4 additional women, which were, as Kaisa thankfully brought up and talked about in detail, Jill Barcombe, Georgia Wickstead, Charlotte Lamb, and Jill Parento. All of the bodies were found posed in carefully chosen positions, and another pair of earrings were found in Alcala's storage locker, which had residue that matched Lamb's DNA. So he's just getting caught all over the place. During this time, he also wrote a self-published book about himself called You, the Jury, in which he claimed innocence in the Samso case and suggested a different suspect. He also filed 2 lawsuits against the California penal system, one for a slip and fall.
Oh my God.
And the other, this is my favorite, for refusing to provide him a low-fat diet.
Are you joking me?
No.
Okay, and sorry, when he was representing himself, they noted that he used a much lower voice than his normal voice.
He also addressed himself as Mr. Alcala during it. So yeah, so in 2006. Yeah, so in 2006, this is the third trial. Oh, sorry, no, 2010. So 2006, the California Supreme Court ruled in the prosecution's favor from the 2003 one. And in February 2010, Alcala stood trial on the 5 joint charges, along with the Samso charge. Like Kaisa said, he represented himself, and he took the stand in his own defense, and for 5 hours played the roles of both interrogator and witness, referring to himself as Mr. Alcala and using a deeper voice. He also told jurors, he often rambling in a monotone, that he was at Knott's Berry Farm applying for a job as a photographer at the time Samso was kidnapped. And he also showed the jury a portion of his 1978 appearance on The Dating Game, an attempt to prove that the earrings found in his Seattle locker were his. However, Jed Mills, who was an actor who was on the episode with him, came out and said that the earrings were not yet a socially acceptable accoutrement for men in 1978. I love that I got to say that word today.
Accoutrement.
Yeah, he was quoted as saying, "I had never seen a man with an earring in his ear. I would have noticed that on him."
Yeah. Makes sense.
Yeah. He didn't make any real attempt to dispute the other 4 charges, other than to assert that he could not remember killing any of the women. Great defense.
Blackout.
Yeah, and then a part of his closing argument, he played the Arlo Guthrie song Alice's Restaurant, in which the protagonist tells a psychiatrist that he wants to kill. Okay.
What the fuck? Unhinged.
I love the trial stuff. I
Me
love the
too.
trial
It's
stuff
really
because
interesting. This one in particular, like very weird.
anytime someone decides I'm gonna be my own attorney, you're sealing your fate.
And so many serial killers do that because they're
Wait,
narcissists and they
what
think they
about the
can.
guy who just did it? Was it last year? He and the judge is like, you're a fucking idiot.
Yeah, who was
We
that?
gotta cover that one.
Yeah.
But I can see the clip in my head.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, and then it only took less than 2 days of deliberation for the jury to convict him on all 5 counts of first-degree murder. There was also a surprise witness during the penalty phase of the trial, which was Tally Shapiro,
Hmm.
all the way back from
I'm glad she got to face
1968.
him.
Me too. And then there was only one defense witness, who was Richard Rappaport. No, I don't believe any relation to Michael. I love Michael Rappaport.
Me
He
too.
was a psychiatrist who testified that borderline personality disorder could explain Alcala's claims that he had no memory of committing the murders. He was sentenced to death for the third time. However, post-conviction, New York authorities announced that they would no longer pursue Alcala because of his status as a convict awaiting execution. But in January 2011, a Manhattan grand jury indicted him for the murders of Crilly and Hover in 1971 and 1977. He was extradited to New York in 2012, entering a not guilty plea. However, he changed it in December 2012 to guilty, citing a desire to return to California to pursue appeals of his death penalty conviction. Now, the death penalty has not been a part of New York state law since 2007.
Hmm.
So he was actually sentenced to an additional 25 to life and then died in 2021 at the age of 77 of unspecified natural causes. You and I have the same face right now.
Hmm.
Because what the fuck does that mean?
Was he murdered? Was like what happened?
I don't understand. But
So
I
they
don't
think he
believe
had
it's
killed over,
unspecified.
yeah, I don't think so either.
No.
That he had killed, they think, over like 130 people,
Mm-hmm.
which
I
is
believe it.
wild. Yeah,
I absolutely believe it.
same.
Yeah. And it's so many, like we said, the unidentified photographs, all this DNA evidence was able to connect him to additional murders, such as Morgan Rowan, who'd been attacked in July 1968. Um, there was something about an IHOP. She claimed that she was living in Hollywood and she was approached by Alcala at a teen nightclub,
Hmm.
which I didn't
Ew.
actually know was a thing. I thought that was only at
We
like
had those in
the
Madison.
the Atlantis Resort has a teen club. It was in the Mary Kay and Ashley movie with Megan Fox.
Oh my gosh.
Do you remember that?
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
watched it. Holiday in the Sun.
We had a
Yes.
teen club in Madison that they did like foam dance parties in, and I would go when I
I
was
went
under
to one.
18.
I went to one foam party because they had it at my high school and I got impetigo.
Yeah, it's
And they
not
never had it again.
sanitary.
It
It
is
was
so
not
not
sanitary.
sanitary. There
I
used
can't
to be
believe.
this, yeah.
Yeah.
There was this bar in Boys Town in Chicago that
I love
it was
Boys
like
Town.
2 floors. Isn't it the best?
Hmm.
I had a friend who was a bartender at Scarlet and we used to go in there all the time and
Mm.
get free drinks. It was the best. But there was a bar in Boys Town that was like 3 floors, and the bottom floor they would turn into a foam party.
Okay, that makes sense. Boys Town.
Who knows
Yeah.
what really went down in there, but I never
Oh,
went onto
so
that
much
floor.
sex. Yeah.
So much sex. I
That's
didn't,
just
yeah.
semen. Not to
Little
use
old,
your least favorite word, but like
it's not my least favorite word, but it's definitely up there.
semen foam.
Yes. So I and my friends would not go down. We'd stay on like the second and third
I feel like
levels,
there's a
but you could
risk of
see down the
pregnancy.
middle. Well, it was a
Yeah.
gay club.
But still, if you were to go in there,
Oh yeah, maybe just floating around.
floating in the foam.
Oh, anyway.
Sorry.
Yeah. So Alcala, there were a lot of other murders that he became connected to. And then in the media, if you want to learn more, There's the 2017 biographical film about his life that was on the ID channel. There's the Netflix movie with that was directed and starred Anna Kendrick,
Wait, what?
apparently. I don't know if it
I
said
feel
it
like
came
I've watched
out.
every Anna Kendrick movie ever.
So it was originally called Women of the, oh no, it was named Women of the Hour. It was originally supposed to be called Rodney and Cheryl, and it's all about the dating game episode.
Oh, okay.
And then in 2022, there's a 3-part television documentary about Alcala, which I'm wondering if that's the one you watched. Or did you watch the ID
Um,
channel one?
I'm not sure actually. I didn't even write down what it was called because I was
That's fine.
so
It didn't
annoyed
sound
by it.
great.
Yeah, it
I
wasn't
love when
great.
you get annoyed by stuff. It's so funny.
Just get like angry.
You get like angry, but like angry in such a way that you start laughing.
Yeah,
And I'm like, this is sinister, but I
so
love it.
annoying. Um, they also had a bunch of like rapes come out too after the conviction, like women who got away from being raped by him, and they all
And
came
thank
out.
God they got away. Like,
Mhm. God,
so
so
scary.
scary.
Ugh.
So that concludes our little disgusting discussion.
Disgusting discussion. I like that.
So
Disgusting discussion.
we can move on
So,
to V Pump. I'm
yes,
so excited it's back. Like
me
very excited.
too. Vanderpump Rules season 11. So much to discuss already, and there's only been one episode.
Hmm.
But you also wanted to talk about the Nick Vile podcast
It's
episode.
so there's so much in there. There's
There's
so
so
much
much to unpack
content. Yeah.
overall.
Yeah.
Is Tom Sandoval an even bigger douchebag now?
Okay, so here's what here's what I want to say. I thought through this new season he
Mhm.
would possibly redeem himself a little bit and just like
Show some kind
somehow
of remorse.
show some remorse. He might still through that season, but then he puts out this Nick Vile, whatever Vale, whatever his name is, interview, and it's like it erases all of that. He's making himself look so terrible ahead of the season. It's so dumb of him.
Have you watched the after show things too?
No, I need to.
Okay, so on the after show thing, he's still blaming Ariana.
The whole thing he's blaming her. Yeah.
You want to talk about a narcissist? There you go. Like, he is
He
not
is
taking any
absolutely.
responsibility for what happened. And then, like, even Raquel, whatever, she is like still, I feel like she's still weirdly in that bubble of like, sorry, I had to sneeze.
Bless you.
Um, Thank you. I feel like she's still in that bubble of like protecting him
I
in a
don't know.
way.
This last episode, I listened to her podcast. This last episode, she really is like, now I'm seeing how manipulative and abusive he was. Like
Well, maybe
she
this is what she needs to be able to
she's
move
like,
forward.
yeah, yeah. And then she talked about how he said that thing on the Veil show about her
Mhm.
being in a bikini with whipped cream, whatever
Oh,
he
this
said.
Varsity Blues
Varsity
reference.
Blues thing. Yeah, she was like,
Yeah.
ew, that's disgusting. And it's
He's
a way of
disgusting.
blaming her. It's like
Yeah.
she seduced me. She made it
Mhm.
happen.
Yeah.
Everything he said,
Did he
he was
say like, well,
absolutely
what
on
would you do
drugs.
if a 28-year-old like wanted to sleep with you? It's like
Okay, here's the thing. He comes
um
in, starting out, he comes in
2 hours
45
late.
minutes late, or yeah, 2 hours, something crazy.
Blames Nick
And
Vile, saying that Nick Vile showed up 2 hours late to his podcast.
who brought
And
out
Nick,
receipts.
yeah,
And
Nick was like, no.
but that was a power move, I think.
Oh,
Or
it was a
he
pissing contest.
and I think
100%.
he was still fucked up from the night before because he was definitely on some drugs.
Oh,
And they were
totally.
trying to act like he was sober, and it was just like really
Well, and then you have
uncomfortable.
his little puppy, Schwartz. Hi. You
Who's
have
trying to
Schwartz.
correct him the whole time,
Yeah.
like course correct him.
Yeah, exactly. It's like there's no course correcting here.
I was just repulsed by because Nick would try to he was so good. The whole interview was so well
His
done.
podcast is great.
Okay, I need to start listening to it because he was
He's
really
having everyone on Bravo on, by the way.
oh good. Okay.
Like his
I'm
next episode is with Whitney from Salt Lake City.
okay, okay. That's exciting. So he was really good at guiding the whole conversation. And this is like what I've always wanted to see is like
Yeah.
digging deep into how Sandoval would answer everything. And he just every single thing, it was a defensive move.
Yeah.
Everything was blaming everyone else. Like when he said that Ariana was putting out a bad look,
Mm-hmm.
that I was like so angry.
Anytime he talked about her, I wanted to smack him.
He's
Like, he
so
has no right to talk
stupid.
about her.
Doesn't he have a team that would tell him what to say? Like,
You would
at
think.
least pretend that
Well, I
you
guess Anne resigned from being his assistant.
makes sense.
Don't blame her. That
Gluing
poor
discs
girl
together.
in that episode. I felt so bad. Okay, so like Ariana loved her for being like, well, this is my house and I'm going to continue to live in it. Like, as I
Yeah,
will. If Tom wants to have a party here, he can go have it somewhere else instead of putting me up in a hotel. Totally on her side for that.
me too.
Totally. Um, what did you make out of I guess I never realized how Lala and Ariana were I thought they were close. I didn't realize that there was like
A weird
some
disconnect.
yeah. So what did
Me
you think
either.
of that?
I thought it was weird. I think I've listened to a few podcasts about it, like different interpretations of it, and it sounds like okay. The thing about her texting
Oh,
um
yeah, Raquel.
Raquel, I think first of all they thought she was coming back to the show. So that's
Yeah.
another reason why she would do it. Also, I'm sure Lisa told her to.
Yeah, but I don't think it
Also,
was staged.
I don't think it was staged, but also I was like, they're acting so high school about it. Like, you can't
I thought
text
so
her. But
too.
then I was like, I probably would be mad.
Well, then think about it.
Or in her position.
Ariana made a good point saying like, well, when all of the guys and stuff were trying to still be friends with Randall, she freaked out.
Hmm.
So like why
Why is this different? Yeah.
I understand hearing Lala's reasoning behind texting her because that's exactly what she went through. I get that, but I also see Ariana's side of like you're kind of being a hypocrite.
Yeah, I do too.
Yeah.
Okay, but their friendship, yeah, I didn't realize it wasn't like super deep either.
Yeah, cuz I thought the four of them were now the four of them are good. I loved seeing Katie and Sheena.
I love Katie now. Like
I
I
love
flip-flop
Katie.
on how I feel about Katie all the time, but I really
Katie
like her.
without Schwartz is
So amazing.
perfect.
Yeah.
Just like Schwartz without Sandoval is great.
Yes.
I mean, it's still Schwartz and he's still a fucking idiot, but
Yeah. He actually sounded pretty intelligent on the Veil interview.
I think anyone compared to Tom Sandoval can sound
Yeah,
intelligent.
it's so true. Um, the whole scene where Katie was over at Tom Schwartz's house, where he's like, "Look
Yeah.
at my pet bugs."
Or what about even before that? He's like, so do you want to sit down? You want to drink? You want to
Yeah,
hang
and
out for a
she's
second?
just
She's
like,
like,
"Okay."
sure, okay.
Yeah.
Like, I just want to take my dogs and get out of here.
He's like, "I picked the dongles off of his butt." Like,
Oh, the
what?
dingleberries. Yeah.
Dingleberries, yeah.
Oh,
The
yeah, the
whole
pet bug
thing was,
thing.
yeah. He's
Oh,
kind of sad. I mean, I didn't know that his one of his brothers died and one of them is
I
like
didn't
going through
either.
chemo. That's
It's
crazy.
so
It makes
sad.
sense because on Winter House, he was not well.
Really, I didn't watch Winter House.
I watched some of it,
I
but he
don't
was
watch the
not okay.
houses.
He was not well.
Well, then it makes
And
sense.
he did talk about that a little bit, how he's like he was super depressed for a couple years there. He's going through a lot. But anyway,
Yeah.
the bugs and the plants, that's telling.
The bugs and the plants. I did think it was adorable with him watering his plants, then going, well, you're dead. And
Yeah,
then moving to the next one.
he is pretty funny,
He's
gotta
hilarious.
say.
I mean, like, he's so stupid funny. But then
I
you
would
remember who
never
he
date him. I
is.
would murder him, like,
See,
if I
that's the
dated
thing is
him.
I would, but I'd probably
The
kill him in the end.
pushover. Yeah. He can't be
Yeah.
so much of a baby. I can't stand
Out
it.
of all the guys on that show, I'd probably date Schwartz.
I mean, me too. Seems the most
Well,
honest.
I mean, I'm not touching a Sandoval with a 10-foot pole.
Ugh.
And then James is fucking. It's James. Like you
Oh,
can't.
James. Do you think he's gonna stay sober? This feels like a history
I
repeating
hope
itself.
so. Yeah, I know. That's how I feel too. But at the same time, I really hope. I love a sober
So much
James.
better.
A
Me
sober
too.
James is great.
He's like kind. You can see the light in his eyes. Like,
Yeah, but he's still funny. Like it's still him. Like he can still
Mhm.
does his DJing and he's still hilarious and like you can still get the like worm with the mustache stuff from him
Mhm.
sober. Like when he's drinking, I feel like he's a lot more angry
Yeah.
and like it's
He
just
just
not
pops off randomly.
yeah.
Yeah.
But it's the same thing with Lala. Like Lala is still herself even though she's sober. Like
Mhm.
you don't need to be drinking in order to have this like personality.
Mhm.
And I think Allie is really good for James.
I do too. Yeah, especially if he's sober. I was like, if he's
Yeah.
drinking, I could see some abusive shit happening.
Yeah, I
But
mean, she kind of gave him an ultimatum like,
I'm glad. I'm glad she did.
yeah, me too. But yeah, and then seeing LVP, that was great when Ariana's like, this is a bad bitch summer and LVP is like, what's that? I don't think I belong in that. And they're like, you're like the baddest one out of all
Yeah.
of us, Lisa.
Sometimes
Like,
I forget she started the show. Like she doesn't make as many
I
appearances anymore.
know. I know.
So
I
it
kind of
was
miss her
good.
on there. But I
Yeah.
thought I enjoyed Lala having that conversation with Lisa. I think Lisa was the right person to talk to about it. And I think Lisa, granted, when Scandal happened, it kind of felt like she was playing both sides of the fence.
Hmm.
Obviously she kind of had to for business purposes.
Totally. Yeah.
Um, however, I think being that outside perspective in it all, like she was the right person for Lala to go talk to.
Hmm.
Um, well, let's face it, if she talked to Sheena, that would have been a whole mess. If she talked to Katie about it, I don't know what Katie would have probably gone off a wall
Yeah.
like Katie does. And then talking, I think Katie's face when Lala told
She's like,
Ariana that was the best, and she's eating the popcorn. It's like
yeah.
everyone watching the show was like doing the same thing as her,
Yeah.
like eating popcorn and watching this happen, and her eyes just being like, "What?"
Yeah.
I loved it.
Can I just say Sheena annoys me, especially now that I love
Yeah.
her life and I love her baby, but like she's turned into a boring mom.
Well, you know what it
Sorry
is
to
with
say that.
Sheena. Well, it doesn't look like she's going to be boring the whole season.
I
But
know.
you know what it is with Sheena? I say that she has Jenna Maroney syndrome,
Yes.
which, if you don't know who Jenna Maroney is, she was a character on 30 Rock who would
Hmm.
always be like, and now back to me. How does
And
this relate
now
to
back
me?
to me.
How
Yes.
can I bring this back to myself? I feel like that's Sheena. Like
Her
anytime something
diagnosing
happens,
herself with OCD, I was
that
I'm not gonna
saying,
judge, but also like that was just making the whole thing about
yeah,
her.
or like how Scandival affected her so much compared to everyone else. And it's like, girl,
And her reasoning was that it like made her question if Brock could do it. I feel like that's a normal reaction.
absolutely. And I
Everyone
mean,
was
on
probably
top of
thinking
it,
that.
yeah, and on top of it, all those stories were starting to come out about Brock too cheating on her. So like with
Hmm.
Raquel.
Hmm.
So I mean, understandable in that sense, for
Hmm.
sure. But like, she's not Ariana. Like Ariana handled it the best out of everyone. And it's happened directly to her. Also, wait, can you
Hmm.
believe that they've repaired the penis flute?
I know. The assistant had to glue it together.
Wait, and I didn't realize Logan broke the flute and he also
Hmm.
works at Tom Tom.
Oh, I didn't realize that either.
I don't know how he still has a
Yeah,
job.
how are they friends? I don't understand.
No.
Oh, I wanted to say about Schwartz. He said the most fucking patronizing thing that I got
As
mad
always.
about. And yeah, he does always. But he was like, Ariana is the patron saint of scorned women. Like
Oh
he
my
said
God.
it
Yeah, when he said
sarcastically. I'm
that.
like, like, dude, shut up. And she is.
Yeah,
So fuck
exactly. And
you.
by the way, the text she sent you was absolutely
That
necessary.
was
Like,
so
fuck you.
funny.
Yeah,
I
I
do
love.
like
She
that
was
he
like,
was laughing about it though. He
yeah,
was
I love how
giggling.
she was like, I don't think what I sent was that bad, and then he reads it, and you're like, oh shit,
Choke on, go
choke
choke
on
on his dirty
Sandoval's
dick.
dirty dick. Loved
Hmm.
it. Yeah, I'm excited for the rest of the season. Obviously, it's only been the first episode.
Hmm.
Um, and I mean, Lala was also on the after show. She was on Watch What Happens Live.
Okay, yeah, I
And
watched that. I watched that.
yeah, first of all, her look was flawless.
Yes. And I love
I
her
will
and
always, yeah,
Rappaport together. They're
me too.
great.
I will always be obsessed with her.
Hmm.
Always. I adore her.
I loved her back when she was trashy drunk. I loved
Me
her.
too. I
Yeah,
loved her every season. Like,
me too.
even when all the other girls were ganging up on her, I was like, leave her
Hmm.
alone. Like, what did she
Same.
do? Like, leave
Yeah.
her alone.
She's so funny and sassy, and I love it.
Yeah. But I
And
loved
she's
that
definitely
she,
showing like an emotional side this season a lot,
I
like
think it's
very
new for
vulnerable.
her. But I
Hmm.
think it's also from having her family, like, be her support system now and really be like, I mean, she doesn't want to be with anyone. She just like wants to be with her family. I think that's really admirable for her.
Yeah.
And like, especially with such a young kid trying to figure out her custody battle, like having that support system is so important. And the
Hmm.
fact that like her brother moved into the same
I know.
complex and her mom lives with her. And it's like so cute. Also, I'm obsessed with them as a little family.
Me too.
They're
I've
so
been like
cute.
watching their stories and
Me
stuff.
too.
Um, what there's something I was gonna say about I can't remember.
Oh, we
Um,
have plenty of season to go. Thank God it
yes.
came. Thank God it's back.
Yes, I can it's making my life right now. We
Yeah, me
needed
too.
it. We needed it.
And it's perfect timing because football's over,
Hmm.
essentially.
Essentially.
So get the TV back.
Yeah, but then doesn't baseball start?
Shh.
Shh.
Not for a while. Let's not even. There's March Madness. There's a bunch of things. We don't need to talk about it though. We got Vanderpump back. The fact that that is like that takes precedence over everything else makes me so
Hmm.
happy.
Hmm.
So happy. And Fridays are RuPaul. So I have like
Yes.
Wednesdays and Fridays are like
I have to watch the
best
new
days.
episode tonight. I can't wait. Because it
You
wasn't out
have
for me on
to
Friday. It doesn't come out for me on Fridays
like
on
on real TV.
Peacock. I don't have real TV. I just have apps.
Wow.
That's why I'm always like the day
You're really
after.
a you're really a woman of the 21st century over
I
here.
know.
Like
Um,
myself, I still have everything under the sun because Rory likes to watch Bravo when I go out.
oh, poor
Or
boy.
101 Dalmatians, or Bluey, or Alice in Wonderland. Depends.
That's really cute.
I don't treat my dog like a human.
Never.
Never.
Bori deserves it.
They all do.
Uh,
Anything to recommend?
we just last night started Mr. and Mrs. Smith, the show.
That looks so
It's
good.
really good. Like, I highly recommend it. I can't
I
wait to watch the
also
next episode
I
right now.
love Donald Glover
I love
slash
him
Childish
too.
Gambino.
I think
I
he's so
adore
hot.
him.
Um,
He is, and he's so funny. Like I
yeah.
loved him on Community. Um, I saw him at Lollapalooza forever when his first album came out.
Wait, were we at Lala at the same time, by the way?
Maybe. I saw him
Anyway,
his first album came out, and then I saw him again in
childish.
San Francisco. What was that? I forget what that festival's called.
I don't know.
I went with my
But
ex. It was kind of fun. And then yeah, but I want to watch that show so bad. It looks
Maya
amazing.
er Erskine, I don't know how to say her name.
Hmm.
She's from Pen 15, and
Yes.
I love her so much too.
10:15 is so funny.
I know, but also there's so many like John Turturro, like Michaela Cole, Paul Dan. Like there's so many good
So many
actors in
people.
this. Yeah, it's just a good one. I recommend it.
All right. And it's on Prime.
Yes,
Okay.
yes, yes, for free.
We love that.
Hmm.
We love a free option.
Yeah, it's great. You have any recs this week?
Um, I'll give a food rec. I am making
Ooh.
Ina Garten's beef stew recipe today because it's fucking freezing here again.
Yum. Stew.
I love beef stew. It's really good, and I'm making
Mhm.
that. And no, I'm kind of not, I don't have anything to really recommend. Right now, my brain is kind of in like getting ready for Rwanda because I'm going to Rwanda for a
So
week.
exciting.
Yeah, I'm
It's
gonna go
super
hang out with the
cool.
gorillas. Yeah, so right now, my Google searches are pretty much neutral colored hiking gear,
I love it.
and I feel really weird doing that because I am not a
That's
hiker.
not your vibe. Yeah.
So
But
we're
that'll be
gonna see how
fun.
it goes. Yes, I'm excited. So I'm
What
I'm
all are
trying to
you doing there?
mentally um we are going to this place called Gorilla's Nest, and you go on these like hiking expeditions during the day to like go into the gorilla areas and see them
So
in their
cool.
natural environment, which I'm really excited about.
Yeah.
I mean, I never thought I'd ever do something like this. So
It's really cool.
I've been on safari, which is really cool. But this is like a completely crazy experience. So we're doing that, and it's me, my dad, and my cousin, who I have the matching tattoo with, which was really exciting. Um, she's like my other half, which I'm pumped about. And the Three Stooges, yeah, are going to Three Stooges. We're going
Three
to
Stooges
Rwanda.
and gorillas. I love it.
Yeah, and I have to get my malaria pills, so that's
Oh,
really
fun.
gonna be fun. That's what I
Fun.
have to recommend. Just, camping gear and food. That's all I
That's
got.
great. I love that. Perfect. We have a
Before we end
new,
the episode,
yeah, go for it. Introduce.
no, you do it. You do it.
Wait, I don't
I
remember what
introduce.
we're calling it. So
Oh,
you
then I'll
introduce
do
it.
it.
Yeah.
Okay. So, guys, we're like Kaisa said, it was her baby. She came up with it. So, we're doing a new segment called Quick Shots of Truth,
And we haven't
where
told each other the questions.
no, so we're asking each other 5 rapid fire questions, and we're gonna see how it goes. Because
Do we want to
why not?
do you want to start doing all 5 in a row? Like I ask you all 5 and then you ask me all 5, or do we want to
Yeah,
alternate?
let's you know what? Let's just rapid fire
Yeah.
each other first, and maybe next episode we'll try it the other way. We're all going on this journey together, guys.
We are.
That's
Thought
why
it would
you're
be
here.
fun.
Also, I think as the episode progressed, I got more unhinged, so I feel better.
Yes. I feel
Here we
like I
go.
calmed down. Um,
We calibrated.
yeah, we
All right. Do you want to ask me first, or do you want me to ask you
I'll
first?
ask you. Also, full disclosure, I
Okay.
came up with these 5 seconds before we recorded, so
Yay.
beware. Okay,
Okay.
ready?
Yes.
Brittany or JT?
Obviously, Team
Amazing.
Brittany. Don't even.
Um, Gummy bears or gummy worms?
Gummy worms.
Oh, I thought you would say bears.
No, I'm a worm.
Michelangelo or Francis Bacon?
Oh, Michelangelo.
I thought you would pick Michelangelo. Okay,
I
this
gotta
one's
go with my
so random and
Italian
weird.
brethren. Yes.
5-day work week with short days or 4-day work week with long days?
4-day work week with long days. Get me that 3-day
Yeah,
weekend.
hell
Let's
yeah.
go.
Uh,
Also, that's
Nikki or
pretty much what I do
Megan?
already.
It's a tough one. Or not, sorry. Yeah, Nikki or
I
Megan.
don't know how to answer this.
It's chaotic right now.
I love both. I mean, I've been a Nicki fan obviously for longer.
Same.
However, Megan's lyric about Megan's Law is like
Okay, Megan's being more mature about this whole fight. I
absolute.
like
Well, it's
Nikki, her music, her art
yeah.
better. Does that make
Yeah.
sense?
No, I'm the same way. Thank you for helping me there. because literally my brain could explode. from
Nikki's
that
going to
question.
some dark spaces that
I
aren't.
also knew you were going to ask me that last night. And I was like, is she gonna ask me? Because I've been
Yes.
thinking about my answer since last night.
Mm-hmm.
Also, Nicki's new album is so good.
I know.
Like, oh, it kills me. But I also love Megan.
Yeah, I
Like,
hope they figure their shit out. Anyway.
yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway. You know who isn't
Anyway.
in the mix? Doja Cat, and I love her.
I love
Just leave her.
Doja.
As long as she doesn't get into anything, we're good. We're fine.
I love her.
All right, you ready for your quick shots of truth?
Okay, I'm ready.
All right. Well, in the selfish song competition, are you Team Brittany or Team Justin?
Brittany.
Duh. I said, by the way, I put in parentheses, there's only one right answer.
Yeah, there is.
Yeah.
Obviously.
Schwartz and Sandy's or Schwartz and Jamesies?
Shorts and Jamesies. I would love it.
Okay. Blocking Summer Moon, understandable or dickhead move?
This is controversial but understandable because
Ooh.
she would have been able to reach out with
Honestly,
that
yeah.
account.
I'm the person, honestly, Tom explained it too in the after show. Like when you block someone, you can either just block them or you can block them at any other account they've made.
Mm-hmm.
When I get angry and block people, I do the block and everything else they've made.
Mm-hmm.
Which
So
then makes it
understandable,
hard.
but also
Yeah.
she's adorable.
But also it's kind of a dickhead move because she's 2.
Yeah.
Yeah. Men getting excited about gifting and receiving candles and plants. Turn on or turn off?
I think it's a turn on.
Yeah.
I love breaking the stereotypes.
And then the most important question I'm going to ask you today. Crushed or cubed? Huh?
Cubed.
Cubed. You're a cube person. See, when I have my Diet Coke, I got to have that crushed like ball ice.
Oh no. But I get it.
So good.
So good.
Okay. That was fun.
That was really fun.
I like those.
Yeah. I'm
Quick
so
shots of
excited
truth.
about that.
I'm excited
So
to see how you edit that and if there's a song involved and if it's like quick shots of truth or like, I don't know.
That's so true. I don't know. Do you want to
I feel like there needs to be like a whoosh or something.
Yeah. A sound effect. Also, we
Some
should
kind of
post
sound
each one every week, I think.
I love that idea. Wow, what the
Just
hell was
fast
this?
opinions.
Yeah.
I
love that. I love it so much.
love it.
Ew, David.
Oh, David.
Ew, David.
Oh,
That's what it feels like right now.
I love that.
This was fun. I loved that.
It was fun.
That's going to be a staple, guys. Sorry if you hated it, but we loved it.
We love it.
Love it.
Dang.
Great episode. As always, thank you for joining us. And thank you for joining me every week, being a psychopath, Kaisa.
Don't forget to rate, review, subscribe, comment, interact with us. I have a frame sample in my mind.
Check out our website, crimecocktailsandbs.com. Listen to us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, and iHeartRadio, which is so fun.
Check out Alex's little quick updates on TikTok.
You're doing them too. It's not just me. Yeah,
I'll try to do them, but you're gonna
follow
be
us
the
on
best.
TikTok. I feel really awkward on there, but it's kind of fun. And yeah, just keep making this fun for us, guys, because we do it for you.
Yes.
So cute.
So cute.
All right.
Okay.
I guess bye.
Bye.